Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Leo in June 2020. What's going on, Leo? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. All right, friends, here we are in June. Half the year is almost come and gone, and it's been one hell of a year, huh? Hopefully you are doing well and you're safe and you're happy and you're healthy during this still a pandemic, friends. But hopefully you and yours, you're good to go and everybody's, in good hands and in good shape, okay? Whatever you're doing, Leo, as the summer months are coming up, springtime leads right into summer. It's like one of my most favorite times of the year. There is this urge to go out and be involved in life and meet up with people and everything like that. So if you are doing that, just make sure that you stay safe, okay? Leo, any general announcements here in June? Yes, at some point, my friends, I'm making a promise, and I'm pretty good at fulfilling my promises. I feel like I have like a high success rate in fulfilling promises. Anyway, I'm promising to go live here on the channel randomly, a surprise live situation on the channel for all signs, all people. So if you happen to be subscribed to me, make sure your notifications are on. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider doing so and turning on notifications so that when I do go live for the collective, I can, you guys can see the notifications, you guys can come into the chat, you guys can get a question answered from me via the tarot cards. And hopefully it'll be just a fun time to get to know some new people. As it is right now, I only go live once a month for the specific sign whose birthday season we're in. So I'm about to do Geminis in about 2 weeks. So obviously, Leo, you are not a Gemini, but you guys will see me upcoming in August. So you have that to look forward to if you miss me here in June, okay? All right, Leo, let's get into it. Shuffled off camera, that's your main spread there. Going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamps in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is all the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you happen to have a question before you place an order with me, just go ahead and email me at the same address and I will answer you as soon as I can. And some of you may have noticed in the top that your girl is now on Instagram. So if you want to follow me over there, the name again is EmpathicFire Tarot. I'm pulling oracle cards over there, interpreting them, a few times a week. Eventually I'm going to be coming through with some pick a card stuff. So if you're into that, and you want to show some support on my other platform, just feel free to drop me a follow over there, okay? All right, my friends, let's get into it. Leo, let's see Leo's outcome for June 2020. June 2020 outcome for Leo, please. June 2020 outcome for Leo, please show me. Oh, it didn't fall, but I'm teetering here. Yes, take it. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Okay. That was interesting. Because normally, if you guys have been with me for a while, I like cards to sort of pop by themselves. But occasionally, I'm stopped and made to think about it, made to, get connected with the energy. And that felt right. So I guess we'll find out, yeah? Let's flip what came face down. Oh, let me note quickly before I flip this. Leo, as I was shuffling, I felt, and a lot of times when I was shuffling the cards, they would get stuck, or I would only be able to shuffle the half of the deck pretty well, and then I'd have to restack it and reformat it and reset it, and then shuffle again before I got your 6 cards, right? And then you see that half of them are face up and half of them are face down, right? Even true now that you have your outcome and your overall, right? Same thing. So I'm getting the sense of knowing only half of it. Half is done, half something. So something isn't full or complete. Okay? Just a general synchronistic kind of energy that I feel I needed to express here. But let's go ahead and flip what came face down for you so we can see the full picture and go ahead and read what that picture might be for you, dear Leo. Okay. Oh, and your outcome too. Silly me. Alrighty then. Okay, Leo, let's figure this out, alright? Please show me where Leo is in I want to say mid-June. And I know this is not the mid-reading, so maybe and I stumbled earlier when I said May, so maybe something has been happening between May and mid-June for you guys. Maybe. Anyway, where is Leo in June 2020? Please show me. more time. Show me. Okay, we got it. Thank you. So Leo, another synchronicity for you guys. If you, and I don't usually cross promote my videos, but I did it today so I can easily remember. I'm caught between two cards here on the table. And the same two positions were in Gemini's reading. So if you are dealing with a Gemini in any type of way, maybe you want to look at their video, see if there's some alignment in the stories. I don't even know what we're going to talk about here today, so it might not be worth it. But two positions, you're starting here. Let's go. Coming into the reading, Leo, into June, you come in with the energy of the Hermit card. Major Arcana for Virgo. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo, but you don't have to be. That's not super clear or super focused, so let's try that again. There he is. Look at his cute little turtle face. So, regardless of whether or not you're dealing with a Hermit, you are in the energy of the Hermit, or you're dealing with someone who is in that energy. Hermit is about self-reflection. Hermit is about quiet time spent alone, and not even quiet time spent alone specifically like in some type of meditation or seclusion or quarantine, right? It doesn't have to come in such a performative way, but on an internal space, there's always like this quiet, reflective, reconsidering energy, or studying or remembering. Recollection is another word they're giving me. What's that other word? What's that other R word that we use a lot? Oh, I forget. Damn. I've been forgetting a lot of words today. I wonder what's going on astrologically for me, specifically as a person. Anyway, so there's this conscious effort for the most part. Some of you it's happening and you don't know why it's happening, or the person you're dealing with, it's happening to them and they don't know why it's happening. But for the most part, I feel many people who are connecting with this energy, like you're aware of what's going on and you kind of understand why. What you're discovering or what you're recollecting or reconsidering or reflecting upon, it varies, or it's not always easy to connect the dots, right? Because the Hermit, in general in tarot, guys, is asking us to consider where we are now and consider the pathway that has gotten us here and why certain choices were made, why certain circumstances came about in our lives, why certain people are here in our lives, and think about it on a deeper level, on a spiritual level, yeah? On a religious level, or whatever you believe in, or what your affiliation is in terms of higher powers and all that, right? And the Hermit also tends to do this work aimed specifically at pain, displeasure, trauma, or drama from your life, unsatisfactory circumstances, people, memories, all that stuff, aka garbage. Or painful things, or things that we repress. Yes. Hermit also deals with, in my estimation, patterns. So if you have a tendency to lose a job, and on the surface and amongst your friends and family, people tell you, hey Leo, the reason you keep losing these jobs is because you're hot-headed, or the reason you keep losing these jobs is because you're not responsible, right? You're irresponsible. You're somebody who doesn't know how to maintain a certain level of responsibility in a situation. You don't, you show up late, you don't do your job, whatever. These people are critical of you, or you're critical of yourself, because that's another element of the Hermit card related to Virgo and energy, 6th house energy, criticism, okay? So there's like I said, there's like a pain or a sting to this work that you're asked to do. Now, going back to this idea of losing a job over and over and over again, right? Why is that pattern here? Aside from maybe you are hot-headed, or maybe you're lazy, or maybe you lack responsibility, why else is it here? Where did you learn that behavior from? Where were you normalized in that? Did you see it growing up? Did you see people in your neighborhood or people in your family, take jobs and, drop them by the wayside when they weren't good enough? Is your pattern to do with your own sense of self? Do you feel like the certain jobs that you have been taking are beneath you? Do you have an inflated ego? Do you have an inflated sense of self? Do you have this element of dissatisfaction. It's not about you don't want to be responsible or that you are showing that you don't care. It's more of like the work that you're getting isn't really your vibe. You know what I mean? A lot of people get into to work situations or relationship situations where I'm doing this thing that I don't want to do. It's expected of me, but it's not fulfilling me. It's not where I would shine the most. You know what I mean? So if you're working a job in sales and you absolutely hate sales, or you hate the customer interaction portion of it, maybe you would be much better suited in a job of research and development where it's less customer forward, right? But your job experience, what you went to school for, all the people that you know can get you interviews and set up with jobs that are that forward facing side of the business, and you'd much rather be maybe management, whatever. Hermit asks you to look at all those patterns and why they exist. Yeah? So if you're naturally inclined to be like a hermit, like this little turtle is showing us, somebody who's a little more shy and reserved, and someone's like, what? A Leo, shy and reserved? I've actually met recently a few Leos, because I haven't really known many in my life. I'm a Leo myself. But I haven't really ever known many in my life, like long term. I've met them here and there. But recently I've met a few, and they're very shy. So like that's a misconception of Leo. Like Leos are the life of the party. Not always. Some are big old wallflowers. And so maybe you are naturally a wallflower, and you naturally want to be in situations, in jobs, in relationships with people that don't push you to be so out in the spotlight like Leo is presumed to want to be. Yeah? So there's something here about the character of who you are naturally, innately, instinctively, and how it's clashing with the expectations of the external world or your external situation. These two parts of yourself, or these two faces of yourself, so to speak, these two personas it's hard for them to reconcile, right? I told you reconciliation or trying to find a resolution is a part of the hermit's work, right? So if you naturally want to take a back seat, or you naturally want to live a calmer, more quiet life, but you were raised around people in a family full of loud personalities, and your personality is naturally quiet, but in order to get a word in edgewise, you had to project yourself and you had to pull yourself out of your shell. Maybe now as an adult, you're growing tired of that, and it's a performative thing. Like there's a way that Leo has been showing up in their life that isn't authentic. And Hermit says, how do you get to your authentic, soulful self? And often you have to look at painful aspects of your life, painful patterns in your life, uncomfortable truths, in order to eventually get to a point of healing. That's what I think you're doing. Or someone around you. It's a general, it could apply to someone else, okay? So what else happens? Yes, other people are here for sure. Yeah, so you gain clarity. Very good. Pardon me. You gain clarity, and I think you're ready to express it. Or, it's pointed at. It's pointed at. Okay. So that can go two ways. Here we go. Mother of Swords, aka Queen of Swords. Again with the damn focus, please. Thank you. Here we go. Mother of Swords, aka Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So there you go. Like I said at the top, some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. I get the sense that you are dealing with a person who has an expectation of clarity, of a certain way of interaction that might be overbearing. If that's not another person, to a certain degree, Leo, for those that are the shyer types, those who are the wallflower type of Leos, that you might have to find this within yourself and utilize it, and that might make you uncomfortable. But I get the sense of whether this is you or someone else external from you, there is a sense of discomfort in the situation. Or this is you and someone is uncomfortable dealing with you this way, right? So it's three ways, okay? Someone you're dealing with, an element or a facet of your own personality, and you have to face that within yourself, or this is an aspect of your personality and other people feel this way towards you. Take it how it resonates, okay? This Mother of Swords is kind of fearsome, or intense. Thank you, intense. Look at this. Look at this owl. Look at her. Like, owls are birds of prey, number one, so they're already dangerous, or they're already something to be feared in the animal kingdom, right? And then this particular owl is balanced on this sword, possibly even dangling it above, her target, her prey. And I say her only because it's it says mother. This can represent a male in your life, okay? It's a general reading. So, the communication style of this person, whoever it is very pointed. Could be argumentative, could be kind of, I don't want to say chaotic. What do you call that? Instigating or has a potential to cut or stab, right? In other cases, it's like this expectation of excellence. Aha, here we go. So going back to those, because that's the other thing about the Hermit can also do work on like childhood wounding. It's not guaranteed. It's not like all it does, but it can speak to that. And, there might have been an expectant parental figure in your life, older brother, older sister, someone of reverence, someone who you respect from your childhood, just for a few of you, not all of you, or someone right now where there's this expectation of excellence. There's this expectation of things being precise or concise and just like, no bullshit. That's the general vibe of the Queen of Swords when we talk about her, or the Mother of Swords in this case. When we talk about this person, they don't spend a lot of time beating around the bush. They don't spend a lot of time in idle thought. Their thoughts, again, this is the sword suit, right? So the way they think, the way they rationalize, the way they communicate is normally with a very specific purpose. This is not somebody who gives much care to small talk. And if they do, there's a purpose behind it. You ever seen like a comedy sketch or even in real life, somebody who indulges a neighbor in a little bit of small talk, even though that person doesn't give a shit about their neighbor and actually doesn't like them? That's the purpose, or that's that person. This person does that to maintain, pleasantries and to not, piss their neighbor off, or to, make it seem like this person, like there's you could call that two-faced, I suppose, but it's just like, there isn't a real desire to hear about what's going on in somebody's garden, or, to hear about, oh, I got this package delivered the other day. Did you see? I'm not looking out my window to see if you're getting packages delivered, Tammy. Okay? I'm literally coming in and out of my house doing my own thing. You're the one bringing it up. Why do you want to talk about it? It's like irritable. Yeah, this person can be irritable when it comes to communication. This person can be very like, what is the point of this conversation? That might be something that they absolutely say. And I get the sense that this is really off-putting. And it makes sense, A lot of people don't like other individuals like that. They find them to be abrasive or offensive or some type of insensitive, right? And that might be true. But something here is telling me that's not the full... Remember I told you it when we started this reading. That's not the full picture of this person's personality. It's an aspect of them. It's possibly what they're putting forward at this moment. Possibly. I mean, it makes sense. No human is, a one-note character. We're all complex creatures. We all have different parts of our personality that, at some point or another sort of take the helm, and sort of it's who we are in the moment. So at this moment, it might be, or there are moments throughout this person when you interact with them, Leo, where they can be biting, they can be very critical, or they can be very impatient in terms of communication. But ultimately, there's a respect or a reverence, or in some cases, yes, a fear or an intimidation that you have with this person. Or again, this could be how you're affecting others, or coming off to others. The other aspect, which is like smacking me in the face, is the word mother and the fact that this owl, I would assume, I don't know much about owls, truly. I don't know much about anything, truly. I'm like a jack of all trades, but in terms, I know a little bit about a lot of things. So I don't know that much about, God, I can't even talk, owls. I get the sense, though, mother, parent, aka parent, because I don't want to exclude this to only females, or excuse me, exclude males from this, but I get this protective energy coming off of this card. So if this is your mother, right, and over the course of your life of knowing that person or your father, whoever it is, I think a lot of what they have done in terms of verbal communication, in terms of the expectation of how you show up in life and what you choose to do in your own life, has always come from this place of, I'm trying to protect you, quote unquote, I'm trying to protect you, right? And that's, I'm not excusing anybody's behavior or their choices in how to raise you or how you're raising your children or whatever it is. But there is this sense of, I'm doing it for your own good. Or I'm saying this because, I'm looking out for you. It's like that. And that can be divisive, that can be condescending, that can be all kinds of ways. You understand it, how that applies to your life. But from this person's perspective, it's like because I know what to expect out in the world, because I know what to expect of a certain situation, here's my advice to you. Here's the expectation I have of you. Now go forward and do what I told you. It's like that. It's very interesting. So what else happens? All right. So yeah, this is hard because Leo, you have a certain fidelity with this person, a certain loyalty towards this person or them towards you or whatever it is. And the attachment is not easy. It's not, it's hard for you to deal with it. It's hard for you to be yourself. Thank you. Be yourself. Pick it up. Thank you. Major Arcana, the Devil card, aka associated with the sign of Capricorn. You could be dealing with a Capricorn or not at all. Is he gonna? There we go. So it's hard for you to deal with this person, or it's hard for you to come to terms with the status or the quality of your relationship at this moment. It's gonna run the gamut because there's so many different experiences that I can sort of sense in your energy. Some of you, this is like a new revelation that you've made, and this is not even someone you've known that long. It could be someone you've known for like the past 2 to 5 years of your life or whatever. But there's a quality to this relationship that feels it envelops you. Like, you see how this goat is like surrounded by all this darkness? There's something about either this specific person makes you feel like you're surrounded in darkness, or the quality of how you interact with each other. Sometimes there's good days or something like that, but when it's bad, it's really bad, right? And you feel helpless to do anything about it. Or you feel tied, like I said, fidelity. You have an attachment to this person. Like, I'm really feeling like a family relationship, Leo. Can be friends, can be lovers, can be, even, like I said, why do you keep leaving these jobs? Going back to that example, because I want to get away from the family aspect, because it's not that way for everybody. But going back to that example of Leo can't keep a job, and everybody's like, hey, Leo, why don't you, learn to be an adult, for God's sakes, and keep a job? You might have this feeling of, or this issue with authority, right? Because Capricorn 10th house energy is attached to archetypes of the father, which is then attached to archetypes of leadership outside of the home, right? So leaderships in communities and governments and jobs and stuff like that, and how we live up to those expectations, yeah? So for you, Leo, when it comes to a job, someone might ask you, how come you can't hold down a job? Why can't you stay at a job more than a few months or a couple of years? Why do you find it hard to do this? I think possibly some of you are adverse to, or somehow unable to square what it means to be authoritative or a leader in your own life. Like, really, what is this feeling? This is really feeling like stunted development. Arrested development. That's the word. Arrested development for Leos. Some of you, not all of you. Okay. arrested development. There's something here where maybe because of, again, things you learned as a kid, you might have observed your parents or your cousins or your brothers and sisters, the way they showed up and they took their job seriously or not. And that may have, settled into you as a certain complex. Maybe you lack confidence. Maybe, this happens also. You see a good thing, maybe you are a good worker at your job, because again, this Capricorn 10th house thing, this could be about specifically your work life, Leo. You might be very excellent at your job, right? And people in your job are congratulating you. Hey, Leo, you did a good job. We want to recommend you to join this committee and we want to see you move up the ladder, blah, blah, blah. And once you start hearing that, you might subconsciously, because that's the job of the hermit, figuring out what's going on subconsciously, why these patterns keep showing up in your life, you might subconsciously begin to sabotage yourself. The devil as an energy in tarot, as a card in tarot, is very complex. There's a lot of dysfunctional aspects of this energy, while at the same time there is a lot of structured, forceful, impactful elements to it as well. Like, if you're familiar with tarot, and again, considering what this card is associated with, Capricorn and 10th house energy, as much as 10th house is about, your public life and, life lessons and meeting expectations and expecting nothing less than perfection in some cases, the devil card also talks to addictions. The devil card also talks to all types of mental and emotional dysfunctions, talks to self-sabotage, talks to the sabotage of self. Yeah? So, and I've said that recently on my channel, there's a good side or a light side and an underbelly side or a quote unquote dark side to every card in tarot. And I think that you are both. You're struggling with both, Leo. You're struggling possibly with your own expectations or possibly the expectations of your family or friends around you, and how maybe you are a very good XY, whatever your profession is, right? Maybe you're a wonderful bus driver, whatever, right? Maybe you're very good at it, but on the inside, you're super critical of yourself, or vice versa. On the inside, you feel like the worst. Or no, you feel great, excuse me. Oh no, reverse it. On the outside, the expectations are high, right? But on the inside, you're not able to really perform that way. On the inside, your expectations are high, but on the whatever. I'm getting myself confused. So go ahead and wipe that. Apply that the way it works for you. And that's what I'm feeling here. There's like a lot of confusion with this devil card, which might be linked back to this Mother of Swords energy. In some of your, Leo, this is a very interesting reading because I feel it so many different ways. Some of you, this is your own story. I've been talking about you the entire time. In other cases, I'm talking about somebody else. And in other cases, I'm talking about the way in which someone views you. And it's kind of hard to make sense of it all, like, in one easy storyline. But regardless, the devil is a complication to your story today. And it's what you need to resolve. It's what you need to find some solution to, some type of help in mitigating, right? And it's going to be, no matter who it is or no matter what, which way you're slicing this, right? It's going to be difficult. This is not an easy task. And yeah, you might be stuck doing this work for a long time, because I get the sense both cards, the Devil and the Hermit, are associated with Pentacles in tarot. So that's slow-moving energy, slowly developing, right? You've got this Hermit energy with the turtle that's been retracted into its shell. And you've got a goat who, goats can run and they can be fast, but they often graze, right? They're grazing animals, right? So there's not a lot of push or propulsion in this situation. Could have been developing over years. Anyway, what else is happening for Leo? So, yeah. I think you're dealing with, yeah, Yes, thank you. You're dealing with this aspect of withholding. You're withheld yourself, Four of Pentacles here. You're withholding yourself. Someone is withholding from you. That kind of, again, harkens back to what I was saying earlier in the reading about half truth or half only knowing half the story, something like that. And this is where I think that part of it ties in. Or I think it's more obvious when we talk about the Four of Pentacles, because traditionally Four of Pentacles talks about withholding, talks about restriction, talks about being stingy and sort of unavailable, right? So something is unavailable to you. In terms of pentacles, it could have to do with money or some type of material resources to you. Again, I'm going back to this idea of losing a job or, sabotaging a situation. And that sort of fulfills a self-limiting belief. You know what I mean? If other people are telling you you're irresponsible, sometimes people fulfill that prophecy. Oh, people think I'm irresponsible, or people think I'm not made for this, or people criticize me when I do this. So let me just go ahead and do that, so that, and it's a subconscious thing that you do. It's not conscious most of the time when we decide these things or when they happen, right? It's not like you're sitting there, well, I've been working at this job for 2.5 years. That's usually when I start to quit jobs. And I think that's what my parents are expecting of me, because, I've painted this picture of myself as being an underachiever in their mind. So today I'm going to go in my job and quit. Like, that's not usually the way it comes. That's not usually the way people think about things, right? Normally it's like, oh, I'm not fulfilled here. I know I should be happy, or I know I should be fine with the way things are, but there's something I can't put my finger on it. I think this job just isn't a good fit for me anymore. Or you become paranoid, or you become anxious, like, oh, they're going to fire me, they're going to fire me, they're going to fire me, so I might as well quit before they have a chance to fire me. That's how it usually manifests, okay? And that's what I feel is going on here. Now, I hate to be the predictor of bad news, but it feels like some of you are like really abandoning ship on something, or something is being lost in the situation, and what ends up being clung to, or what ends up being restricted, okay, it's twofold. You're clinging to this perception of self, or this idea that you can't do better, or that this is exactly what you deserve. This is exactly what was supposed to happen. And that is that lack mentality, right? So that's a clinging to, that's that holding on aspect of the Four of Pentacles. Now, the other side of it is this restricted from, barred from, excluded from energy, the stingy part. I think, Leo, some of you are not tapping into your natural resources of being, for lack of a better word, a better version of or better phrasing, a better version of yourself. Yeah? There's some potential, I don't want to call it an offer, because opportunity, thank you, that's the word. I think at this moment there's an opportunity in front of you, or whoever is in this energy, because it's not all Leos. Sometimes this is someone else that you're dealing with. There's an opportunity here that requires work, devil next to it, right? Devil requires work. Devil is an energy that's, what is the task at hand? Accomplish the task. Hit the goals, hit the mark, right? So there's an opportunity to do something differently, or do something in a way that you've never done before, or with as much fervor and dedication as the devil requests. Saturn energy, right? Requesting action, requesting some type of hard work. And someone here is like, no. It's twofold. It's very interesting. Like, I'm getting heavy, like sabotage, self-sabotage, and it's all rooted in some type of heavy criticism and or expectation that you place on yourself or others place on you. Damn, bro. Why? Because it's like, deep down, this I don't think is like the true reality. Did I say that before, or was I conveying that before? I think I did. I said there was like two versions of you. And going back to the hermit, there's like an innate natural way of you to be. There's a natural way to express yourself, to feel contentment in yourself. And I don't know that you have experienced that yet, or you haven't experienced it much in your life. Most of your life, whoever is resonating with this message, I feel that that person has been performing and doing things on other people's dime, or not on other people's dime, in other people's eyes, like trying to live up to other people's expectations and under like perceptions of life. This is what you're supposed to do because you are blank. You are my kid. You are my cousin. You are my husband. You are my wife. You should do this. And Leo's like, okay, I guess so. Or, okay, that makes sense. And it's like, no, does that really make sense to you? Based on that hermit energy, does that really make sense to you? There's something here where you're all knotted up and netted up. Damn. Oh, it's right there. Hold on. I gotta move this. There we go. Move it back. Ta-da. There's something about this, Leo, where you're kind of like, you see, it's not like a crazy configuration of these lines throughout these pentacles, but it is haphazard. Like if this was a highway system or a street system, like why are they crossing like that? Like it doesn't flow. Thank you. It doesn't flow. Something about your energy or your self-perception or what you want in your life, what you want to accomplish, again with that devil card, is not fully expressed. It's not germinated. That's it. Yes. Okay, good. It's not growing. It's like, I said that, arrested development and stunted. So whoever this is, stunted, capped off at a certain level, and it's not easily fixable. In time, I think it will be, thanks to the hermit. But man, right now, it's like, yeah. What else happens, please? Leo, whoever this is, you or someone else, whatever this story is, it's very, it's a deeply rooted story. Hierophant. Major arcana for Taurus. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus, but you don't have to be. Now, all three majors of the earth signs are here. If you're dealing with an earth sign, Leo, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, take that with a grain of salt, or take that on board, rather. Because again, this energy of earth energy, this energy of the pentacles is slow developing. And to some sort, to certain degrees, each of the earth signs are very interested in fidelity, in expectations, in what is normalized or what is perceived to be the right way to do something, right? So here we have this Hierophant energy. And the key is very interesting. Some of you, a Taurus, might be very key to your situation, might hold the key to something of importance to you, whether it's a literal physical key or a metaphorical key, okay? In this moment, I'm taking this as like wise counsel. That would be why they hold the key. Got you. Some of you might want to get into partnership or some type of dialogue with a Taurus. It doesn't have to be a Taurus, but whoever represents this energy, right, of the Hierophant. That person, through wise counsel with this bird, which I presume to be either a crow or a raven, and I think both of those birds are known to be sort of known for their like sage-like advice, you know, like the wise counsel of the crows, you know. Intelligent, right? Crows and ravens are known to be intelligent. I believe both. I could be wrong, don't quote me, but so this is someone external to you. In most of your cases, it's someone that you either know or are soon to meet, that through that connection, through that communication with them, they're going to enlighten you to things. They hold a key in some type of way, Leo. And they don't have to be a counselor or a therapist. They don't have to be somebody that you tell your woes to. This could literally be like a landlord holding a key to your own apartment or your new house, where, you know, after living somewhere for a long time, or, you know, possibly, you know, you've always lived at home, or you've always lived very close to your family, and maybe you move out of state. And this whole time you've been told, Leo, stay close to your family. You know, we need you. The family needs you. This is the expectation. You know, our family has lived in this county for the past 150 years. And you're kind of like, that doesn't inspire me. I don't really care for that. You know, it's not your bag. It's not innately what you want to do. You know, some of you have been told to live small and you want to live bigger, wider, more experience in your life. Now, Hierophant talks about hierarchy as well, right? If you know traditional depictions of this card in other tarot decks, it usually depicts a priest, and he's usually giving out advice or giving decree to his monks or his followers, right? In other decks, it's an old wise man or an older wiser woman, whatever. That is here too, because I mean, what have we talked about with the Devil card and the Mother of Swords? This expectation in the situation that you're involved in your life, period. Do this, do that, because you are my daughter, because you are my son, because you are my sister, because you are whoever, right? And Leo, you've been faithful, Hierophant energy, fidelity, you've been faithful to that role. And now that you're older, or now that certain things in your life aren't feeling great, that's why the Hermit is here, that's why you began here. Something in your life doesn't feel great. You don't feel good where you are. You don't feel good around the people you're around. You don't feel you're living up to your potential, or you feel as though you're living an experience that is inauthentic to you. So throughout this entire reading, I feel the underbelly, or the undercurrent of the situation, Leo, has been, how do you get to the truth of yourself, the honest expression of yourself, while combating external criticism, or criticism that comes from within, the enemy within, or the enemy without. You know, it could be both. You know, if you've heard your whole life, Leo, live small, you know, don't do this, do that instead, you become the perpetuator of that rhetoric, of that argument. And you don't need anybody else to tell you, live small. You already do it. You've been programmed into it. That's another aspect of the Hierophant card. Programming, or prescriptive ways of living. Now, the irony is, I think this is an external person who does not have these expectations of you. I think that this is somebody who, through counsel, through advice, through general conversation, might inspire you, might offer you an opportunity with that key to break out of whatever you've been in with that Four of Pentacles above, right? That restricted energy. This person offers you an opportunity to get away from that. Yeah? Some of you, it's literally to do with like a key to a car, an apartment, something that will give you some sense of freedom in your physical life. Because again, these three majors represent Pentacles cards. You have two other Pentacles on the board. Your physical life, your material life is restricted, restricting, tight, small, and you need more. Right? Turtles, they hang out in their little shells every once in a while, but when they need to get moving, their little arms come out, their head pokes out, and they get on about their way, right? So slowly over time, you will move forward, or you are moving forward right now, possibly with the help of other people, or one particular person. Take your pick. And this is kind of what you're after. Three of Pentacles. And, you know, Leo, you might see this and you might be, oh no, because I feel some of you, aren't necessarily over the moon about what I'm about to say, but I think it's necessary, okay? Um, excuse me, with this Three of Pentacles, what we're looking at is a huge mountain and the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the mountain. So I think you're on a path to be connected with others, one particular person, 15 other people, I don't know how many, but, and if not anybody, just yourself. But in some of your cases, this will have to do with friendships and partnerships and, you know, just in sort of a community of people or having similar experience with people. Like some of you, I said this earlier, like a religious experience or a spiritual experience for some of you. And then I mentioned the word addiction here. Maybe you're going into some type of treatment program and that's going to free you from whatever has been restricting you. Maybe. So at the bottom of the mountain, that's where you start this journey to rise to the top, to climb to the top. Now, I don't climb mountains. Girl is too lazy to do it, right? But what I know is it's not usually something that happens and you just do it willy-nilly. You just put on, you know, your best pair of sneakers and you just walk up the mountain. No, you usually got to buy all kinds of equipment. If you're like going up to the top of, you know, Mount Everest for God's sakes or something like that, you need a shaman to go with you or some type of leader to go with you. Like, it's not an easy trek. And some of you Leos are like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Girl and guy, I feel you, okay? But is it what is necessary to sort of traverse or I think this is like a transmuting energy or moment to transmute in your life. Meaning, this rigid, stuck, stunted energy can be the fuel that you throw into your own gas tank that propels you forward. It's like transmuting things that are quote unquote negative into a positive. Using all of this that we've discussed today, Leo, as an inspiration, as motivation. More so motivation because this, you know, more than, yeah, you need to be motivated to climb this mountain. So you use it to your benefit. That's transmutation. Using something to your benefit. Getting the best out of what you've got, what you've been given, right? MacGyvering a situation for those who are old enough to remember what that means, right? You've got, again, limited resources in some of your cases. All of this is pentacles except for the Mother of Swords. Your resources are limited or they're only of a certain quality. There's a cap to it. How can I use what I have now to expand, to have more, to get free from, or to assert myself and express myself in a more authentic way? The work you need to do is like climbing a mountain. But, Leo, whether you're the wallflower type or the life of the party type, you can do that work. And you know you can. If you don't know it, you will soon know that you can do that. That's good. Outcome, Leo, for June. The High Priestess. Secondary major arcana for Cancer, sometimes also associated with Pisces. You could be dealing with one of those signs or neither at all. It is a general, okay? So as your outcome, like I said, some of you, this is like a spiritual awakening or like a religious thing that you're going through. This is self-reflection. This is like coming into some awareness of your own cosmic being or your own relationship with the cosmos, yeah? High Priestess, again, similar to the Hierophant, can come in the form of an external person who advises you, who counsels you. But actually, I think many of you Leos, you're going to become your own High Priestess. You get in touch with your intuition. You get in touch with your natural instincts and you begin to guide yourself. Some of you have been guided over the course of your life by other people. And again, some of those people, they didn't mean you harm. They didn't mean to be overbearing towards you. Going back to the Mother of Swords energy, they didn't mean to be so pointed and hurtful with their words. They were trying to do it for your own good. But now that you're older, you realize those words not only hurt you, they stifled you. And the High Priestess, similar to the Hermit, is in the business of realizing things that hurt you and transmuting that energy for the good, for the betterment of your future. It's not realizing that these words or these expectations were detrimental to you and kept you in a certain phase of your life or a certain mindset in your life and being bitter about it. No. Hermit, High Priestess, Hierophant, no interest in bitter energy. No interest in dwelling on sad sack energy, truly. How do I take the pain I feel, the sorrow and sadness that I feel, the depression I have, the anxiety that I have, and transmute it for my betterment? I don't know what you plan to do or what you will be enabled to do, but that's the goal. Overall energy, 5 of Wands. So this has been a kerfuffle in your life. You might have detractors from this energy. You might have people who, like again, I've been saying, are critical of the moves that you're making. Or again, why are you doing it that way, Leo? Why would you do that? Or saying, Leo, why would you even think you could do that? You know you are XYZ. Like lowering your own expectations of yourself or trying to keep you boxed down. Fuck all that. See, now this whole reading, again, I'm a Leo myself. I haven't been very, I'm normally that type of reader and that type of person. And just now, the real Jay, the real person that I am, I'm not this boxed in Leo, let me tell you. But I'm just like, no, there's no way that you are going to dictate to me, whoever you are, what my outlook is meant to be, what my goals are meant to be, what my self-belief is. I determine this, not anybody else. And that's what I encourage in my work, both on camera and off camera. You determine who you are for yourself, regardless of what anybody else says. I'm telling you today, right now, Leo, I think you're great. I think you're fabulous. I think you can accomplish anything you want. I'm giving you positive affirmations and confirmations, yes, in this moment. It's up to you whether you think that is true or not. And it doesn't have to be because I said so. You have to align that energy within yourself or align those beliefs within yourself. Do you truly believe that? Is what you believe about yourself influenced by me or anybody else, or is it what you determine for yourself? Right? So that's what I think that 5 is about, that 5 of Wands. Other people are trying to tell you what to do, how to be, and you need to come to a conclusion, and you shall, with all the things that we mentioned before. You're going to determine what the truth is. Ooh, half truth or only half the story. I just told you at the beginning, only half the story has been revealed. In time, the full story will be revealed, and you are going to write that story. Beautiful. Leo, that has been your reading for June. If you liked it, the like button is down below. Go ahead and hit that for me. If you want to leave a comment, let me know how this resonates in your life. It was such a layered story, so I got kind of confused myself. But if you want to shed some light on that, feel free to comment down below. You can share this video across your social media platforms. Let other people know you like watching my stuff. And feel free to subscribe, friends, if you have not subscribed, okay? The crew keeps getting larger and larger. I'm meeting new clients, and I'm having a good time on this journey. If you want to join me, go ahead and subscribe, all right? Leo, I'll be back soon to do your mid-June readings. Again, if you want to purchase a reading, that information is in the description box, as well as the link to my Instagram, okay? Thank you, Leo, so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.